All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel here with part two of our Senate predictions. Currently, as you see, we have 49 seats for the Republicans, 43 for the Democrats, 7 seats left to go. All these states, besides this first one, I believe will be in that lean tilt territory, but I guess we'll start with that first one that I think is not in that lean tilt territory, and that is the state of Florida. Didn't discuss that yesterday because we weren't certain who the challenger or the winners would be of the primary that was held yesterday, but there was little to no doubt who it was going to be. It will be incumbent Senator Rick Scott, and he's going to take on Debbie Marsalis Powell, or DMP, as her campaign has been calling her. As we see yesterday, Rick Scott won rather comfortably. Both his opponents did not even crack 10%. And as we also see, DMP, she won rather comfortably as well in her primary. A lot of the analysts are rating this likely R, some even solid R. I don't know if I agree with the solid rating, but here we got the polling. Rick Scott has led in almost every poll except for one that was taken last year. Polling is tightening a little bit, though. If you look recently, he's only led by about 4 points in a recent poll here. 10 points here, 4 points for. Nonetheless, though, I feel like Rick Scott will definitely win this. I mean, he's been somebody who we've seen time and time again in his career pull out, squeak by very narrow margins. And if we look at his electoral history, so why don't we do that? 2010, he wins the primary by 3 points. 2010 wins the general by about a point. 2014 wins the governor election by a point. And then 2018 wins the Senate race by a point, even way less than a point. So I think this will be his most comfortable victory, I think. But I say he wins by about 5 to 7 points. So we've got a likely state. All right, so everything I have now after that, I'm going to categorize in the lean category. So we can move over to Arizona next. All right. So in the state of Arizona, we have incumbent was Kristen Sinema. She declined to run for re-election after leaving the Democratic Party. So we have Ruben Gallego that took her place. He's the incumbent congressman from that state, going up against Kara Lake, who was the GOP's nominee for governor 2 years ago. She lost that race, and then afterwards kind of made a fool of herself, claiming it was stolen. And I think that alone is going to hurt her chances in this race. We're seeing Donald Trump polling rather well in the state. Trump is either about even with Kamala Harris or slightly behind, but we're not seeing that in the Senate race. We're seeing Gallego leading in almost every single poll taken. I mean, even some by a wide margin. I mean, he's up almost double digits in some of these polls. So I think Trump is going to run ahead of her. However, Trump will obviously run ahead of her. I'm pretty fairly certain of that. I think, though, that this polling won't be entirely accurate. I don't know if you'll have this many split ticket votes. Regardless, though, I do feel comfortable making this a lean D state for the time being. Unless Kara is able to kind of tighten those polls, I don't see her pulling out a victory there. All right. And moving on, we'll head to the state of Pennsylvania. In that state, we have incumbent Senator Bob Casey going up against challenger Dave McCormick. McCormick had a brutal loss last year in the primary to Mohammed Oz. Only lost by about 0.5% in the primary. And Oz ended up going to lose that race to Fetterman. And looking at the polling here, Bob Casey has not led it or has not been down in a single poll. So just going off of that alone, I think is enough to kind of keep this at a lean D for the time being. And again, Trump is polling rather well in the state, and we haven't seen that correlate with the candidates. In some of these swing states, Trump is polling about even with Kamala, but the Senate, races have been wide margin lead for the Democrats. So not really sure why that is, but nonetheless, that at the end of this video will leave us at 50-45. So we have 5 states left to go. We'll discuss those 5 states tomorrow. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your day.